Now we have sound. I went live and I was like, shit, you can't even hear me. That's a lot of noise. Can you guys hear that? Da da da. So I was like, been on the computer for like an hour. And then I just got up and I went to get a drink. And then, being an hour prepared, somehow ended up being 1 minute late to the stream. Can you understand that? 'Cause I can't. How is everyone? G'day collaboration. G'day Chevy. G'day Andrew and g'day Mark. I hope everyone's well. Where's the light? Let there be light. We've got some real nice natural light in the background. You guys, East Coast viewers will be like, why the hell is it still light? It's very daytime outside. I got a can of red nectar. How is everyone? Hope everyone's well. I've got some news. I've made some decisions about my future. It's not that exciting. If anything, it's what's the opposite to exciting? It's boring. We'll talk about it a bit soon. Maybe 5 minutes. What else? I got Flowerhorn babies. I've been trying to look after them. What's Cooper's talking in the background? Can you hear him? What day is it? Friday. So this weekend I have to put the clutch in my Starlet. It's actually up on the hoist. I had a serious fall the other day. So I was meant to have the clutch out by now, and the plan was to get it to the machine shop yesterday, so get the flywheel machined. But I fell. So and I fell with Cooper, and I've hurt my knees. Do you know what's crazy? I came off my dirt bike, 60 k's an hour. I hit a concrete drain, and I had a little bit of a pulled muscle in my knee, nothing serious. And then I tripped over in my own backyard and fell down the limestone wall onto the decking, and I sliced my legs open. I pulled muscles. Cooper's got bruises down his shoulder. If anyone's seen on TikTok, I've got a winch that winches the cars in and out. I had the winch cable out attached to the car, and I tripped over it, and it was the scariest moment of my life. Cooper was in my arm up here, so he'd be a meter off the ground plus there, 1200, and then the decking is over the limestone wall and down 800, so he went from 2 meters up and down and face planted into the decking, and he's fine, surprisingly, somehow. I think I rolled and he bounced off me or something. But I'm sure most of you have dropped a kid before, and it's I swear my whole life flashed before my eyes. I think my first initial thought as I was flying through the air was, my wife's going to kill me, he's going to be hurt. But anyway, that was a long-winded way of saying I was meant to have the clutch out of my Starlet by now, but I haven't. How are you, John? Hope you're well. G'day, Steve. G'day, Only Oscars. John, how's all the little creatures and critters going? I can't keep up with what you get these days. I think you've been getting more CPDs. Is it CPDs? What are they called? Something Peldanios or something? Danios? Alright, so I'll get stuck into what... Blake, how are you? Docs will tell you they can bounce up to the 3-meter fall. Yeah, I definitely got hurt way worse than him, and well, I guess I fell just as far. Somehow I didn't hurt my arms or my wrists, but I don't understand. So I'm going to get rid of some fish tanks, guys. It's not what you think. We're not slowing down or stopping breeding. I'm just restructuring. So I'm selling the inside tank, the house tank. I'm selling the 8-foot and the 2 IBCs. I'm selling the 4-foot underneath the water change system. What other tanks? I think that's it. But it sounds worse than it is, guys. So what this means is this brings high motivation to repair the Stingray tank, because to sell the 8-foot, the Stingray tank has to be complete. Now you may be saying, why would I sell so many tanks? It's got nothing to do with my time. Obviously my tanks are all automated. It's not time. It's basically the cost of electricity. So I don't know if it's true or not, but I've heard rumours that power is set to increase up to 20% in the next 12 months, which I 100% believe that, because building supplies have gone up like 30% at my work. So like, let me structure my power bill for you guys. My power bill's $800. Basically, we'll say the house and living is 200 of that. Probably not even, because I do have solar. The fish room is 150 of that to 200. So that would bring us up to like 350, 400. And then the koi pond, say $50, and then so we'll say 400. So my last power bill was like 800. Obviously we're going into summer, so it's going to drop. But if I delete the 8-foot, the 2 IBCs and the 4-foot tank inside, my power bill is going to go from $800 to $400. So obviously if I'm going full swing flower horn breeding, the flower horns pay for that. But as of late, I've just been breeding flower horns enough to strengthen my lines for me, and I haven't been selling them. So I can't justify the size of the power bill. And also, I just think it's excessive. The fish room's got 30 tanks in it. I don't need hectic tanks outside of that. And you guys know I've been really struggling to find something I enjoy in the display tank in the house. And I've come to realize that I just don't enjoy display tanks. It's that simple. I don't. I can't explain why. A display tank, basically you set it up and you leave it and that's it. Breeding, you like tinkering, all that sort of jazz. I like breeding fish. I'm not into display anymore. About 9 years ago, a guy named Aaron, I can't remember his last name. If you're from Perth and you've been in the hobby that long, Azza used to be a crazy invested in Dimachromis breeding. Anyway, Azza said to me, I just met him, and he was like, are you a breeder or are you a display fish guy? And I said to him, I'm both. And he laughed and said there's no such thing as both. And that statement has stuck in my head all these years. and like it wasn't even maybe a year or two after that, I had pretty much established that he was correct, and I was a breeder, not a display fish keeper. But yeah, it's true. I got a marine tank. I had the marine tank set up completely as a display. I didn't enjoy it. I did a planted tank. Mediumly enjoyed it, but wasn't that into it. I had my 8-foot. I sold that because I wasn't that into it. And like, it's just been a cycle of like trying to find the display tank that I enjoy, and I don't think there is one. I don't know if anybody else can relate to that. But yeah, so the groper went to Groper Heaven. The groper, it's not a touchy subject, but it's a fish that I instantly regretted getting. I've got this thing in my head where like, if something's an absolute bargain, I can't say no. And I got offered that fish for a crazy cheap deal. I basically paid nothing for it. And I tried to give him like a nice happy salinity life. I gave him some salinity because they don't like fresh water long term and shit. And yeah, he definitely his organs definitely shut down. I watched him like how he declined over like a week. I didn't talk about it or anything, but what, it's just not a tank fish, full stop. Blake says, I agree, display tanks are pretty boring. I thought you were a display tanks kind of guy. Oh yeah, I see. You're looking for a colony fish that will breed in a display tank. See, that's the other thing. I could keep the inside tank and breed one of my colonies of Africans in it. But once again, the old electricity debate. So like, the whole fish room runs off air. The whole lot, even the IBCs, the koi pond runs on air. The display tank, if you exclude the heaters, even just the pumps, the two pumps in the display tank draw more electricity than my 15,000 litre koi pond. So like, I don't know. My fish room is so energy efficient, and like I ruin that by some ridiculously inefficient setups that I've got around the property, you know. Blake says you really don't watch my channel much. Yeah, I can't hide that. I really don't. G'day Adam, how are you? I don't watch any fish channels. I don't know why. My missus watches a bit of Coral G Fish to You or whatever it's called. I don't mind when he does like, when he goes to different countries and does like fish shop tours. I just pull it up once a month to congratulate you on your sub count. I don't even have to pull it up. I just see it in my feed and you doing like a video on your sub count, and then I'm like, and then I congratulate you. I don't even know where it is now, but it's got to be somewhere ridiculous. I just can't believe how much your channel's grown, man. I think as far as my channel, I need to get back into a rhythm. This stupid style The stupid Starlet has had a fair weight on the lack of videos on the channel. That car snowballed very, very bad. Oh yeah, so the basically the plan is, so if I sell the 8-foot and the 2 IBCs, I can move the quad bikes to that far corner. I'm still going to build the 2-foot rack, but I'm going to toy up with the idea of selling it as soon as it's built. But I've got some timber to build it, so that it would be silly not to build it and profiteer from selling it as a as a complete setup. Takes a good 4 years to realize what you've done to yourself from parenthood. Yeah, it's like, I don't know. The problem is I also took on a job which is a lot more mentally demanding as well. I think John says 19 years. That's if they move out at 19. I'm just glad I've been getting more sleep, which is good. I've got a sleep schedule again. This little batch of flower horns that I've got has been really good for my, we'll call it fish structure. I've been feeding them twice a day, and it's really just made me spend more time in the fish room. And I don't know about you guys, if I don't go in the fish room, like you know that song that's like, you only love me when you're there? That's kind of the fish room for me, because like if I've got a what's moving out mean? If I've got a reason to go in there twice a day, like little babies, the more I'm in there, the more I'm watching, and the more things I do. Does that make sense? But anyway, I'm spewing. So if you know Life of Sight on YouTube, the not so great bloke, he's a great bloke. He scored like meters and meters and meters, probably like 30 to 50 meters of fiberglass fiber. So go to Life of Sight's channel. I'll type it in the chat. And go to his comments and write, give Rumble some fiberglass. But he scored it for free. So good. All wrapped up in black plastic and everything. Anyway, the point behind that is my structure for the next, we'll call it a month. So the structure is, I need to put the clutch in the Starlet, which is this weekend, and put an exhaust on it. At the moment, it dumps straight from the turbo. I don't want a yellow sticker. So put the clutch in the Starlet, and then I kind of want to go full steam ahead working on the Stingray tank. Step 1 is getting it dry. So that sounds really easy, but I have to put like lids on all the tanks and make sure no water changes are dripping into it and stuff, because the Stingray tank actually holds water just from like all the filters of the tanks above it like bubbling. It drips down into the tank and that, and like right now, even though the tank hasn't had fish in it for months, the tank's actually got like a layer of water in the bottom just from chilling. when am I planning on doing the Stingray pond? I think, did I just say that? Yeah, so Stingray pond next week, but it's not going to be a 5-minute thing, guys. Please don't think it is. Getting it dry, it might take weeks. So I'm going to have to test and repeat. So I'm going to have to dry it, put lids and stuff where I think I need it, come in the next day, see if there's any moisture. Because if you know fiberglass, any sign of moisture at all will ruin it. And then I think I need like a nice good weather day that I can keep the door open to fiberglass it. And then like another issue is I don't know how I'm going to resin it, because if we fiberglass it and then go to resin it, it's going to be sticky. I'm probably going to have to just donate old clothes to the cause, because my pants and I've got to kneel and crawl through everything. I'm going to be kneeling in fiberglass. Yeah, it's going to be a mission. G'day Chevy, how are ya? Wrote it as I said it. I'm just going to fiberglass the whole thing as if it was a non-waterproof structure. So it'll be like 1 to 2 layers of fiber, then gel coat. I'll take the windows out. I'll probably get new windows, and I'll probably get in there with the grinder and cut some more bracing out and stuff. I've got to see if the timber in there is damp. Hopefully it's dry. The other thing I can do, like if I'm fiberglassing, I can turn the water change system off the day before, or even days before. Like that can be off for a week while I fiberglass. Like the fish can go without water changes for a week. The only thing is my front lawn won't go well. I might have to like water the front lawn with tap water, which might I add, I don't know how to do. How would I? I'd probably just have to fill the tanks up with tap water. So there's another reason I want to sell the 8 foot. The water's disappearing and I can't figure out where it's going. The floor's not wet, but the water is dropping, and the only thing I can think of is one of the jank hoses I've got is leaking. I can't find any water on the glass of the tank, on any of the silicone joints or anything. I think the only thing I can think of is like the drain's leaking with the shitty hose on it, and it's leaking into the IBC below, so it's not going on the ground. Just put a sprinkler on the front lawn. Well, yeah, I could just use a manual sprinkler. It's not a bad idea. So yeah, if you weren't here at the start, what I was saying is I plan on selling the display tank in the house. I plan on selling the 8 foot, the 2 IBCs. I want to sell the 4 foot that's underneath the water change system. So basically I want to have the fish room and the koi pond, which is still 30 tanks and a 15,000 litre koi pond. I made, if you didn't hear it at the start, I basically built a room that is as energy efficient as I possibly could, and I've lost sight of that energy efficiency by putting like bulk tanks outside using crazy power and shit. The real estate bumped our rent dramatically and tried to soften it, saying water is included now. Needless to say, I have the best lawn on the street. I just got my water bill, it's pretty high. The thing I hate about the water bill is it's in tiers, so like between now and February we get crazy high water bills because we hit the 3rd tier. I guess that's another good thing about selling the display tank in the house. That thing's on a constant drip. That's a lot of water. But yeah, I was thinking about toying with the idea of getting black diamond stingrays. There's actually a guy in Perth at the moment selling black diamond hybrids, and they actually look nicer than the pure black diamonds getting around. But I don't know. I think like black diamond's always just been a bucket list fish, and it wouldn't be to breed or anything. I just want one as a pet. John would buy that display tank. It's a pretty nice display tank. It's like rough around the edges, like the cabinet inside is pretty jank and stuff, but as far as like face value, it looks pretty nice. Richard hates it. He's not happy in there at all. It's the first time I've had a flower horn on substrate, and I don't know if it's a substrate or what it is, but he's silking in there hardcore. Do you know what I would really like is a low spot Leo, but speaking to a couple of people, apparently Leos are just non-existent in Australia. It's like one of those things, you know, it happens with cichlids as well. Like there's like the middle tier and then the high tier, and like people breed the hell out of the high tier fish, and then all the middle tier fish disappear. And for me that's Leos. Like my personal preference, I like a low spot black and white stingray, so that's a Leo. So my favourite of the stingrays, even the albinos, I'm not a fan. My favourite of the stingrays is actually a Leo, but everyone's favourite is a black diamond because they either like more spots or society says that black diamonds are better than Leos. So Leos are the ones that are bred to hell, and then now they're falling dramatically in price. I've seen a couple of pure black diamonds for 1,400. That's crazy. I remember them being like 25 grand each at one stage. I remember someone over east had a pair of pure Leos, but I can't remember his name, and that would have been like 6 years ago, maybe more. But yeah, you definitely see the Leo get thrown around in the hybrid world, like that the parent has Leo in it, but I don't know if technically Leos are as white as a black diamond as well, but I'm not sure. I remember saying, I don't know if it was on YouTube or I said like 3 years ago, it might be longer now, that black diamonds would hit $1,000, and everybody called me crazy saying that because of how much it costs to breed them and rah-rah, that they'll never get that cheap. But look, it's happened. I'm pretty sure if you like a low quality black diamond is around 1400, so you could probably window one for 1,000, but it will only be a matter of time before a high quality one is 1,000. But like I said, there's a guy in Perth selling hybrids at the moment, and like no shit, they do look better than pures. They look way better, and they're only 800 each, which to me is crazy. Like, it would have been a $10,000 fish like 4 years ago. But I guess it's just supply versus demand. And the problem with stingrays is that, like, we watched it with Matoros back in the day. You can't have a stingray unless your tank's over 1,000 litres. So that dwindles the market heaps. And then throw in rising energy costs, sprinkle some of that on, interest rates going up, what else? Cost of water going up. Sprinkle all those together. Fish food. How much is carnivore now? All of that together, and then sprinkle those, and then that dwindles the market to the people that can afford that. And I guess like that's the problem. I guess Africans do it as well, but can't think of an example right now. Yeah, so that's the problem, exactly what John said there. His first pair of macaws cost 19,000. By the time they bred, they were worth 4k a pair. So I think like every animal is like that, isn't it, really? My neighbour's got a macaw, it's pretty cool. $4k each. I think if you're gonna breed something to profiteer, you have to expect, if you're growing it out, you have to expect to sell like maybe 10 of the young to break even of any animal. Look at the flower horns when they came in. They were $2,000 each. Now you can get something of that quality for like 300. What else does everyone breed in the comments? I think we can, if we go like this, and then I go like this. You know one thing, has the stream been slow? I was downloading. Pause that. Transition. I got Xbox. What do you call it? The Pay Pass or whatever it's called. It's not that great. All the games are pretty old. I was playing Command and Conquer Remastered, and then it took a poo and wouldn't work. So crank that up. Even like we used to breed mini lot rabbits. Well, not used to. I bred them once. They seem to have like held their value. Rabbits were wicked if you want to profiteer. I'll give you that much. I had no hagglers. I had no dramas. It was just like It was Peeps. I think... What did I pay? I think I paid $150 each for my pair. Anyway, they're pretty killer. I don't know how much like the vaccinations and shit cost to sell them. I want to get ducks, not to breed, but I don't want to be in rabbits to search for ducks, thank you. Why is there cars coming up with ducks? But what if we just search pets? It's all just going to be dogs. Can I just search for pets? Everything besides dogs? What's this bloke doing? Just hanging out with his weirdos, mate. Oh, that's bogan ass. That's an ad that I would post, I reckon. Yeah, John, I still got the snakes. John got out of birds. Birds are just too loud for me. I should sell the snakes. I've had them for so long, but it's like they're forever. I should get a pig. Dogs are crazy price. We can get female betters. I'm getting more chickens tomorrow, actually. So, funny story. Somebody posted silky bantams in Fremantle, and I was like, sweet, Fremantle, well priced, I'll come and get them. And then they're like, oh, they're out in the hills. I think it's called Henry Brook or something. Basically an hour from me. And nice quality super red male there. I don't know, is that classed as a quality super red male, do you reckon? I'm not really familiar with how red they should be. I've just seen how bad some of them are. The juveniles look better than the dad. They actually look like better quality than I've seen around. Let me know what you guys think of them. 5 for 100 seems like a reasonable price for the quality considering the shit that's around. What story was I telling? I can't remember. I need these. Oh yeah, so the person was like, the ad was advertised 10 minutes from me, and then they actually lived like an hour and something away from me. We'll just call it an hour and 10 minutes. And then I was like, oh no, don't worry about it, you're so far. And then they were like, oh, how about we drop them off? Where do you live? So, yeah. And we worked out a cheaper deal than what they were advertising them for. So I'm stoked. Don't tell the neighbours, but I'm getting a rooster. I've got a collar to there's a silky girl. Try quieting the rooster. I might make up like a nighttime box, like fully enclosed, completely dark. Just use it on the weekends, fuck the weekdays. The mini lots range heaps in price. Does anyone do this? So normally like on Facebook Marketplace, I like that you go to Marketplace and then just that first page that there's actually no category, know nothing. You're just like looking through random shit. I find it so interesting. Some of the shit people are selling. Do you know Monty, my Wiro, is actually my longest ever animal, I think. He's still cruising. Wow, that's a lot of birds. $200,000. Wow, no need to cull. That's awesome, John. See, like, let's look at the bristle nose. That's not the picture I clicked on. See, like, that's not good enough, in my opinion. I haven't bred them, so, like, I can't say, like, oh, they're shit. Well, I am saying they're shit, but, like, drop a comment if you've bred them, and then you agree that they're shit. Super red crystals, I haven't seen them. I haven't seen crystals that red before, eh? $13 each, is that it? Like this, look at it. Look, sorry if this is you, but even the terracotta's more red, and terracotta's not even red. I don't know, am I being too harsh? $62 empty aviaries, that's hardcore. What fish are in Perth? I was thinking about getting purple mystery snails. Putting them in the Lego tank. I think that'd be too big, but I'm meant to be like culling tanks, and here's me looking, oh, what can we buy? %. I don't know if that's 85%, but maybe. Who else just strolls Gumtree? I don't do it much anymore, mainly just with you guys. That says shower. Yeah, I guess it is. It's got black on the fin there. Nice red on it. How did it end up going back forward there? Might wrap it up soon, guys. What do you reckon? It's funny, when I first got the koi pond, like 1 out of every 50 ads would be koi. Now it's like every other ad's a koi ad. As I say that, there's none. Panda koris are cool. Black belt. Be interesting to know if it's a cross. I'd say it probably is. Should get some breeding brushes. Try to breed my koi. Super red bristlenose males. I don't know. Maybe my expectations are too high. Is there such thing as just red bristlenose? Should those half red ones be called red bristlenose? Check out this guy. Is that 1800 for one? Well, that's the bird and fish place, I think. That's enough of that, isn't it? Alright guys, I might call it. What do you reckon? But yeah, so next week's plan is to start working on the tank. I don't know whether to just smash the windows out or whether to do the windows or take them out or just leave them in fiberglass room. I think I'm going to smash them out. What do you reckon? Be more fun. Anyway guys, I'm going to wrap it up there. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed it, just talking shit.